I'm Tom Snyder. I lead the RIOT organization, and I think our slides will be coming up here in a moment.
Yeah.
We have just two quick lightning talks for you today, focused in augmented and virtual reality. And about an hour ago, I got a note letting me know that Lenovo is releasing what they call the A6, which is this augmented reality headset that I'm wearing. And this has, there's only about 100 of these that are in production so far. It's a new product that's rolling out, so I have to be really careful I don't break it. I don't know, one of the first things that you learn when you were told about public speaking is if you're nervous, you should picture the audience naked. We maybe have the technology for that, but I don't think that's probably a good idea. So we'll see where this goes. I'm not going to run a demo on this now, but at our demo night, which starts in about 30 minutes downstairs, you'll be able to go to the SAS booth. SAS has been working with Lenovo on this project, and see, put this on and see in real time some really cool demos of this cool technology. So with that, I'm going to introduce Dr. Sarah Glova, my friend and colleague, to talk a little bit about what RIOT does.
Just in case anyone hasn't heard of RIOT, so quick show of hands, who has heard of RIOT before? Thank you so much to the RIOT community for being here for this event. Just quickly, our mission, as most of you know, Todd Lewis did a great job of plugging us earlier. We are the largest IoT organization of our kind. We're a nonprofit, so that means we're focused on capturing, creating, catalyzing IoT opportunities that do good things for the ecosystem as a whole. Now, a big part of that for us is establishing this area as a global center of excellence for IoT, but we also want to help organizations that aren't in this area to plug into what's going on here. So RIOT is a big convener in that. How do we measure success? Well, here's some metrics that you can look at. So we know that we've had over 8,000 rioters attend events just like this one. And that's not all from one organization. We did some research and saw that over 1,200 different companies were represented in that. We also have chapters. We have one here in the Triangle, obviously. We've got Charlotte, we've got Atlanta, and now we've got Wilson. When we measure our thank you.
All right, Wilson in the crowd.
When we measure our success, we look at jobs created and investment in startups. And we can see that organizations working with RIOT have created over 500 jobs and raised over $350 million, which is a pretty big deal. So we're feeling really good about that. But what we really want to emphasize tonight is there are a lot of things going on that you can plug into. You're a part of this movement. You're a part of this fourth industrial revolution. So we're going to give you a sneak peek into some of the things that RIOT is working on.
So the first I mentioned in the opening remarks this morning, for those that were at the opening plenary, we have been really fortunate to have an incredibly collaborative landscape across North Carolina, really across the Southeast, but here in the Triangle, we've worked very closely with NC State University, with a number of municipal governments, including the city of Raleigh, town of Cary and others, industrial partners, research partners, nonprofits like ourselves, over the last 18 months to work towards what we announced just a couple weeks ago, a $24 million investment by the National Science Foundation in an advanced wireless network for drone research. So this is a huge deal. This essentially makes this region the center of excellence for anything in autonomous aerial vehicles. We already have incredible companies like Precision Hawk. The CEO of Precision Hawk, if you hadn't heard, is now the chair of the FAA Advisory Committee in Washington, D.C. To drone regulations and standards. We have this test bed where we'll be able to do interesting things, for example, launch networks of drones that then can provide wireless coverage wherever they fly. Think about bringing connectivity to disaster relief and emergency response, for example. This will be an open platform so that anyone around the world that wants to run experiments on this network can apply through an online portal that will be launched early next year, get that experiment approved, get it run locally for you if you need that, if you're somewhere else in the world, or you can travel here and do that. And then the work and the research that comes out of this platform will be shared openly for other researchers and other advances. So this is a really exciting opportunity. The Wireless Research Center, which is the other half of RIOT, is going to be building and running and maintaining the network over the next 5 years, and we hope that, to carry it on from there. So huge achievement for the area.
Great. And I'm going to talk about another initiative we have going on. Does anybody live in an area that is prone to hurricanes? Couple people. So stormwater is a huge problem in a lot of areas. It's a big problem here because we have things like hurricanes that bring all this water all of a sudden. What's interesting about stormwater is if you collect data about stormwater, usually do that within a city, when that stormwater crosses over a city line, it actually doesn't care that it did that. So what's happening is we need a more regional approach to stormwater data. We need to be able to share so that when stormwater leaves one municipality and goes to another, we have a broader understanding of where it's going, how quickly. It can help the state to be better prepared. But there's challenges with regional approaches like that. Who owns the data? Who's going to keep it secure? And so RIOT, as a nonprofit, as a neutral organization, is able to do unique things, like build a table where different municipalities can come together and discuss that very issue. And I'm excited to tell you that it's happening. So we have people represented from Raleigh, from Cary, we have Wilson. We've got people from Holly Springs, Morrisville, Wake County, North Carolina Emergency Management coming together to talk about this very issue. Now, what does that mean? It means that RIOT is helping to build a table, build a platform where these kinds of discussions can happen. We're bringing the expertise to that discussion, but also just the neutral perspective of what are some ways forward. It's probably not likely that we can get a bunch of different cities to agree to purchase the exact same technology, exact same sensors, exact same cloud subscription. And so what are some alternatives? And RIOT is helping to build that. So wanted you to know that that's going on. We've already had some discussions at NC Open Pass, at the Civic Camp event, at the Smart Cities Conference that was in DC last week, and we've got more coming up. We'll talk about a Triangle Smart Cities event coming up. But wanted you to know that's happening. If you have any interest in challenges like that, smart city challenges, stormwater or otherwise, connect with RIOT. Let us know what you're interested in and how we can help.
Thanks, Sarah. I want to add that she listed a whole bunch of places that are involved in this project, but this is open to anyone. So if your municipality wasn't listed, we encourage you to reach out. The goal is to create an open architecture for data, a common framework, and a legal structure around how the data rights and data sharing should be managed. So anyone can opt in. There's no requirement to participate, but we want to make it really easy. And from this framework, that first use case of stormwater can then be expanded into many, many other areas to serve our citizens better, make our cities more efficient, and better and happier places to live.
That's a good point. And Tom, to your point, it's not just the municipalities. We need to remember it's also a public-private partnership. So we've actually had some volunteers from organizations like Cisco step up and help to give some advice in those kinds of conversations. So happy to talk more with you about that, but glad to plug such an excellent program and really cool to see the collaboration going on in this area.
Well, so last kind of big announcement that we want to make this evening before we move on towards our speakers is that we've been running the RIOT Accelerator program we're in our third cycle now of this project. We're running 2 cycles this year. We're happy to announce that next year we're going to run 3 of these programs at least. We're talking to some other places about maybe doing more, but we've entered into a partnership with Wilson, North Carolina. And if you have not been out to Wilson, which is not far from here, it's less than an hour from where we are right now, you've missed out on an opportunity. This is an incredible community that's one of the most forward-thinking areas that we've worked with in terms of deploying technology for their citizens. And they have created really the infrastructure for any company to build on. And so we're really excited to be part of what's called the Gig East Exchange, which is a new innovation resource, a physical space and programming and other things, a real community that's being built. And we're going to have the RIOT Accelerator running in that area. Applications for this program open on November 4th and run through December. If you follow RIOT, you'll see those announcements. But we're looking for the most creative, energetic, great startups that want to build on fiber optic broadband, on municipal-run resources, that we have a fast-moving, progressive partner in that city to help open up opportunities for young companies to grow and to expand. And so this is a great opportunity. We encourage you to participate, and we're really happy to be expanding RIOT beyond Raleigh. Now, we're not going anywhere. Raleigh's great, and we're going to continue, obviously, to run our operations here, but into other communities. So with that, there are lots of other ways to get engaged in the program. And some of you who are RIOT regulars have seen some of this, but real quickly, we're now running 7 lunch and learns every month across the state of North Carolina. We're exploring opportunities in Georgia and in the Virginia and D.C. area as well. If those are places we should expand to, we want to hear from you. We're community-driven in what we do, but we have great partners. You see here, HQ, Smashing Boxes, Launch Factory, Dan Thayer. I don't know, is Dan in the audience right now? Dan is speaking, I think, tomorrow. He might be downstairs already setting his demos up, but he runs our Charlotte chapter, IoT Charlotte. It's almost 2,000 members. Great opportunity to engage. These are all free. You can sign up on our website.
And just in case you're not able to attend those in person in North Carolina, good news for you, we have another way you can plug in. Tune into RIOT Underground. This is the podcast where you can hear from the instigators who are changing the world with disruptive technology. We feature some really innovative people on this podcast. They often come into the studio to talk with us, but we also do podcasts on the road. So you're going to see us around later with the microphone recording some stuff. So if you want to be featured on the podcast, look for the crazy girl running around with the microphone.
Look for Sarah this evening, tomorrow, whenever. We'll do some live stuff from the floor.
Yeah. Subscribe on any place you can really find podcasts, or you can find it on our website. We also have some important things that you can keep in mind if you are local. So a couple dates to keep in mind. I mentioned this Triangle Smart Cities event. We have the Triangle Smart Cities Summit. It's on the 16th. It's on Wednesday. It's a free event. If you're at all interested in those topics, I encourage you to look that up and register. We would also like you to go ahead.
It's in this room.
Oh, really? We also have our upcoming pitch night. Has anyone been to a pitch night before? A RIOT pitch night? A couple people, great. So what's wonderful about our pitch nights is often when people go, they're going to be lifelong pitch night attenders because the events are fantastic. If you want to see startups give really high energy pitches, if you want to hear about what startups in the IoT ecosystem are doing, you've got to attend pitch night. It's a free event, a great way to plug into the technology. So our current cohort that's literally in the lab right now, when you go to IoT Demo Night, the expo portion later, you're going to see some of their demos. They'll be doing their pitch night on November 19th, and you can go ahead to our website and register.
You heard Todd this morning say, he says thank you often. And we likewise are, we're community-driven, as I just mentioned, but we're also sponsor-driven. Red Hat, who you just heard from, is a great partner of ours. We have numerous companies. Many of them are exhibiting downstairs. You get to meet them in person. But all of this happens because of a community of support that comes together. And so we want to thank these folks. This evening in particular, we have a couple of folks that have gone above and beyond. Oak City Productions is capturing a lot of what we're doing tonight digitally, taking pictures. This is a fantastic organization. They're local. If you run events, you have needs in that space, I encourage you to reach out to them. They're our photography sponsor for this evening. And then always
Everyone's
the favorite
sponsor
is food and beer, right? We have a bunch of food that'll be rolling out downstairs as soon as we finish this program up. And DNA Group, who are here. Is DNA in the room? They might also be downstairs at their table. Incredible organization. They can do manufacturing in the U.S. locally. They can support overseas stuff, but they have a team right here to support whatever IoT device or development is being built, and they've been a fantastic partner for a number of years now.